Iko Nini. So the latest news hapa 254 ni Caliph Kairo is finally free. Free at last, free at last. Na nimejuaje? Kuna vile amepost kwa both Instagram na X, ameandika glory to God 1 2 thanks for the unwavering support, alafu akasiti picha yake akiwa hapo na the Posh, and all I can say is good luck to him, and hopefully he stays inaitangwa ni what and narrow, najua abaki ame maintain cause freedom inakuwaga one of the things that we take for granted, but I always feel like freedom is the thing that separates us from animals, and that's why even the concept of prisons ili come up, because wewe mwenyewe ushajiuliza, out of all the freedoms we have, why did they decide that they should take away the freedom of movement? Because just feeling caged is one of the worst feelings, and personally, of course, I always talk about it because I come from a family with the history of that. So familia yangu gana history mbili. The number one history, of course, ni alcoholism. Alafu number two ni history ya incarceration, where you have like my father went through that, my uncles went through that, my cousin wa Buddha will go through that, and I always quote like one of my uncles ulaliandikaga ama ulalisemaga pali nilikuwa nikisikia the conversation, alisemaga ngamo teri jela rongi ngamo negi, he was taken you to jail is equivalent to he was killed you, and this shows me also another thing that we can learn from Cairo is how the wheels of justice turn very slowly, because you can see like before saa hizi we go basically at the end of April, and this is when he's being released. So amekaa hapo remand I think for close to a month, because I can see like the post before that ilikuwa yake ya 26th of March 2025, alafu after 26th of March 2025 the next post ni 29th of April 2025. So this is a whole month of not posting, and this is because of that, like the wheels of justice keep turning slowly. So all I can say is good luck to the man. Najua like there are few people who might think that by the fact that I was basically the guy who used to talk about how people need their cars delivered, that I had some ill will against the guy. No, 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 no. The only thing musemaga nineza na nafurahiaga sana when people get whatever they pay for. Najua like it's one of those things where Kenya as a society tumekam tukakuwa people who never worry about the victim. We always worry about the perpetrator, and that's why sometimes when you talk about the victims, somehow when you try to tear the victims, you look like either a hater or something else. And yeah, so that's one of the stories ile nafuatilia. So another story nafuatilia ni story ya Edward Kwach. Edward Kwach alibaki amepass away, inasemekana ni leo, yes, and this was after a short illness. Ilikuwa just last week, ilikuwa inasemekana that he'd been hospitalized, and alikuwa in critical condition na alikuwa na need like some form of blood donation, but it seems that he was not able to pull through, and Edward Kwach ni msee I think nilikam kumjua from the fact that of course nilikuwa na work in the radio industry, but apart from that alikuwa mabeste na beste yangu fulani na beste ya RAPCHA, yes, ni msee anaitwa D, yes, and of course the two of them while go through that phase of struggling with alcoholism, and at some point kuna vile Edward Kwach like actually penned a letter to his younger self, and he talked about how starting to drink in high school vile ilienda up ikimletea shida later in life, because now he found that he struggled with it. Unajua alcoholism inakuwaga like it's a disease, and this is something we've come to learn later in life. Kitambo tuko nafikiriaga watu ulewa, watu jua wanataka kulewa, but tunapataga two different people drinking the same amount of alcohol, but what it does to them is very different. One person after kudrink your two glasses they want more, ama two bottles they want more, nacheki. Another person it does nothing to them, they just can still not drink for the next 3 years and they'll be okay. So yeah, alibonga juu ya hiyo, so I remember that letter, and also pia ilionyesha how some decisions that we make when we're very young can end up being like costing us our life in one way or another, in that you end up battling something that the adult you had very little to do with, because nachiki kama yeye akibonga juu ya starting to joke around na alcohol akiwa seko, alafu ikabaki imemletea hizi shida zote zile limletea. So akiweza sema tu ni rest in peace kwake, because this also shows how life is fragile, man. Like one minute you are alive, the next minute you're gone. Like kuna hata hizi clips nilikuwa na cheki zake za Spice FM. Ile kitu moja alikuwa anasema ati may you do something that by the time una nini the devil is realizing you're dead tayari uko heaven. I don't remember his specific words on that, but that stayed with me, and it just shows you how short life is. Like, make like every decision that you can make today, end up umemake leo, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And another thing is just leave your mark. Just leave your mark on earth. Just do your best. Leave some help someone along the way if you can. Because people don't forget that. Hii inaenda kunifanya ni quote a certain quote nilichekia Mulamwa. I've never heard this quote, but it's such a powerful quote, in its own way. Ilikuwa ti mtu amekunia kwa barabara husahau, but mtu amekanyaga mavi huasahau. Some really philosophical shit. Sindio? Philosophical shit. So yeah, that naweza sema tafakari hii si tafakari ya babu, hii ni tafakari ya mjomba, I guess, cause babu akiongea juu ya kukunia itakuwa ni shida tena. So kulikuwa na that. Story nafuatilia saa hizi ni hiyo story ya inasemekana Kwambox haisemekani, yeye mwenyewe ndiye alipost that now on 30th of April itakuwa her last day on radio, na tubonga juu ya 13-year journey. So I don't know if it's last day on radio forever, because kile uhapenigi ni watu shift. Unajua kuna koganio ni the game of musical chairs, I think, or something like that, ama history ya approach, you approach from here then taken here, because what happens is hizi vitu zinakamigini with a lot of money. Na kama juzi tukiwa hapa na Andrew Kibe akibonga juu ya 450,000 shillings akienjoy Kamenje ama Kamenegoro for 318,000 shillings. So you can see the sort of money that we are talking about when it comes to Radio Africa. It's really big money. It's not money that someone should walk away from just hivyo tunachiki, unless you already have a cushion to nini. So sijui kama yeye mwenyewe ana move into radio again, another radio, ama ameamua tu ikonene, I'm just going to do my own thing, because that's also possible. Najua kuna like a lot of content creators that I know, ile wengine pia unajua wale ukisikia paychecks wanapata hapa nje ni ridiculous. So sijui kama ameamua go that route, but all naweza sema ni good luck kwake. I think like nimechekio journey yake like from Homeboys. After Homeboys I think they alienda Vibes, after Vibes akafika hapo, and hiyo seat ya breakfast ya Kiss is like one of the most sought after seats on radio nacheki, and that has to like lazima mtu mmoja apatiwe credit for that, and that's Caroline Mtoko. Like she ended up setting the bar for that. I think at some point she was the highest paid radio presenter in Kenya. Then Radio Africa build your foundation for the rest kukuja kina Classic. I don't think akina Classic zinge exist without that original Caroline Mtoko. Her with her arrogance and her what nacheki. Yeah, and also pia radio pia saizi unajua inaanza kuchange, because ina change because there's a whole generation that's growing up that doesn't look up to radio presenters. And I say this as someone who worked on radio and someone who also grew up looking up to radio presenters. And the radio presenters, of course, to look up to, from Jimmy Gatu akiwa both radio and nini, to I think kuna msee kuitwa Greg Murray. Kuna this like original presenters were Metro FM. I've forgotten some of them, but some of them, like one of them, of course, at some of them. One of them ni my former school colleague, ama former schoolmate, anaitwa Danolo, pia aliwakigi hapo Metro. And yes, then tutoke hapo tuingie for Capital FM, tumongejua kina Muthoni Buika, tumongejua Eve D'Souza. And yes, so radio has always played this role. And to look at Mtoko who moved from Capital akabaki ameenda Kiss and literally changed the game. And because of her changing the game, she made she laid the foundation for a lot of presenters that have gone through that morning seat. I'm sure they were earning some good money, and that goes for them kama Adele, Kamene pia, hiyo so tatu ni do mzuri. Kina Kibe, kina Jalas, kina nani tena shaiko hapo, Chibukizi, all these people who've gone through that seat have been making some good money. So of course kilenza sema ikikam to historia kwa Kwambox ni kama she's doing her own thing, good luck, najua your own thing. It's always better. The only thing that it comes with a lot of pressures that people don't know. Nasemkanaga like working for yourself ni harder than working for someone else, because for someone else you have a time schedule. I'll start at this point, I'll stop at this. When you work for yourself, you don't have time ya kunini kustop. And so yeah, but well, I don't know what she's going to do, but kile naweza sema ni best of luck to her. So ye akiwa number 1, pia number 2, best of luck to Mr. Khalif Kairo. At some point alijokigijua ule best yake kwa jela. I hope amelan kuwa ngamote eri jela rom ngamonegi. He who's taken you to jail is equivalent to he who has. Yes. Alafu last but not least, rest in peace to Edward Kwach. Iko Nini.